Bit since I've been live, and welcome to all my live friends out there. And also, Yosef is a very good friend, and he's going live to your community. This might be the first time you're going live.
It's
Yes.
actually yeah, I've been live like in the past before, but it's one of the first times that I'm live with you. That's for sure. Excited to be here. Excited to learn what you're gonna share with me. So let's rock and roll.
Yeah. So, we are going to be talking today about a topic that most people haven't heard of. It seems odd because I'm going to describe this in a second. I'm just going to share this screen, this chat GPT. So I became fascinated with this when it was first announced a while ago, and the reason why is because I own probably 12 or 14 different chat softwares, AI softwares already. Throughout the last 2 years, I go to AppSumo. I bought hundreds of pieces of technology over there, but everyone that's a AI for writing, I buy. So I've been really into this, and the other ones have been okay. And we use them, and we use them in my organization. We're creating content. We're creating a lot of content because we're working with people. We're a LinkedIn agency. We're helping with creating outrageous content. We write lead magnets and landing pages, and we create a lot of content. And also, so I started on this Chat GPT, kind of like someone said, "Hey, check this out," and I was blown away. I was blown away because it just changed the way you communicate. The other ones you put in like a sentence says rewrite, it rewrites one little sentence. You've seen some of the other ones. So the reason why I named what we're going to talk about today, finally a technology revolution built for old and young people. So we're going to do this training, say right? Because you are share a little bit about your company. It's really cool for the young people because we want to create this training so it's in the portal.
Right.
Take a couple seconds and let's talk about that, and then we'll jump into the Chat GPT.
Absolutely. Yeah, so thank you for the time. So ShareNest is basically a platform that it's for career development. So we get students at a young age and we help them to identify really what they're passionate about and take them to, application. We're all about learning through application. So right from the beginning, once they understand a little bit more through different, assessments that we do in them, what could be a potential career for them, we help them to build their first project. And the unique thing about the way you help them to build the project is we're not only helping them to build a company in this process, but we help them to look inside and understand who they are as individual, but also to look at the world and figure out what are the major problems of today's society, of your community, and how can you come up with a solution? How can you bring value to what you do in it that it's not only just to make money, but it's also good for people and for the planet. So through this process, we actually helping students to add their first meaningful activity to their resume and giving them the edge to know more clearly really what they want to do in the future.
Awesome. So what I thought would be super fun, I'm going to share my screen again, is so this morning I got up at 5 and I started doing the due diligence and putting together the information for this presentation. And as I started to get into it, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to create a polished presentation on ChatGPT. To cut and paste this out and put it on my Canvas slides, I mean, it might be a little slicker than what I'm about to show, but it would lose some of the impact because I don't just want to talk about ChatGPT, about what it is. You know what? You can ask ChatGPT what it is. I'll tell you what it is. I don't even say Google it anymore because if you Google it, this is really one of the scary things for Google. If you Google what is ChatGPT, watch. We do this. This is the fun thing about this, right? Now I'm going to say, what is Chat GPT? Now this is the world that's dominated our life for the last what it came out in like I don't know early 2000s. Call it 20 years. This is Google, right? What is Chat GPT? Boom. So what do I have? I have a Chat GPT competition. That's first spot, Jasper. That was the first one of the first AIs. using an old software, and they got funded. Someone give them $68 million, which today looks like a pretty bad investment. Maybe not, but they're buying this spot. So is this going to be good information for me about what is ChatGPT? Probably not. This OpenAI is actually, it's the software. So you can go to the actually answer directly from the software, which is one option. And then as you go down, you'll start to see that, okay, here's CBS News, Wikipedia, ZDNet. Then you actually, Google pushes you to YouTube. So what is ChatGPT, the Hindu YouTube? What is ChatGPT, the AI software taking the internet by storm? This is, I don't even know. The point is that we've lived with this as the solution, meaning that I put something in there. We're like, oh, for 20 years, oh, this is great. Google's scouring the globe and it's going to give me this. But now what I need to do is I need to be pretty intelligent to figure out what I want to click and what I don't want to click just to finally get the answer of what actually it is. So that's the old way. And you're going to say, okay, well, what's the new way? If we go to ChatGPT and hopefully it is working, and I'll create a new chat. And then, of course, we're asking ChatGPT, what is ChatGPT? Oh, see this? Verify we're human. Do not lock me out. Okay. So if you go here to ChatGPT and you put in what is ChatGPT and you hit enter, now it actually is going to tell you what is ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is a large language model developed by OpenAI that uses machine learning to generate human-like text. It is trained on a data set of billions of words and can be fine-tuned for a specific task, such as language translation, question answering, and text summarization. It can be used in a variety of applications, including chatbots and natural language processing. So where this excels is basically giving you a straight answer. Right? It just gives you the answer. Now, it's only data has been only updated to 2021, so this is work in process. The Elon Musk is around involved with this company. I forget the guy who's the founder. Microsoft gave him $1 billion back a few years ago. I think they're going to invest another $10 billion, and it will evolve to, okay, it's not 2021 data, it's recent data. Right now, it's not connected to the internet, so it's not going to give you news. So if you say like this, what happened yesterday, right? It's going to tell you, I'm a language model. I'm not hooked up to the internet. My cutoff's 2021. So there is some limitation. So it's not a Google killer as it is today. But if you are going to want to find out really great information that you wanted the answer to the question, then watch you give me a question, Siggy, that you want to answer to.
A question. How can I use ChatGPT for my business?
I forget about that one because I don't want to go
Oh,
for GPT into GPT. Like no,
so
think of something. Give me like a tennis. Give me a tennis question because you're a professional
okay.
tennis player.
Who won the U.S. Open last year?
Okay, last year, well, no, because it only goes to
Oh,
2021.
2020. Let's put it
Why
that
don't
way.
we ask who has the most who
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 won the most number of Australia Opens in history?
who won the most Australian Opens? Okay, good question. So there you go. Instantly, look at the data. Novak, 2, 8, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, 19, 20, 21. Actually, would have won in 22 too if they didn't do the whole COVID thing. And then Margaret Court. Wow, Margaret was crushing it. So the point is, if we did the same thing in Google, and we say, okay, because this is normally what you would do, or you would say Siri. By the way, when we speak to Siri and we also speak to Alexa, they're using AI. Like this is so what we're experiencing is it's not actually new. The amount of data and the way that they've been able to serve it to us in a way that we're able to interact with it is really new. So then we put this in who won into YouTube. Novak Djokovic won Australian Opens, 10th major, and then of course we've got all this other stuff. Then you can click this to get the details, and then you're going to get ads. This is going to be YouTube stuff, sports CETA, Statistica, and what happens with a lot of these like Bleacher Report, you click on this and they're getting their Bleacher Report's going to get paid because they have ads, right? So this whole methodology, watch Bleacher Report. I clicked, um, okay, Bleacher Report. I'm on their account. Most of these sites will have ads here that will show that they'll also get paid. But now here, I'm just um, sports news inbox. So they're going to try to get your email so they can market to you. So that's basically how it works. And they're going to have a exit pop to try to get your email here. So this game, which has been around for 20 years, is built based on ad revenues. Great computers that Google put together to like search the globe and come up with information at our fingertips, but it's corrupt. It can be gamed in the sense that people are always trying to game Google to get listed in the top 10. Keywords, dumping, stuffing this, all this kind of stuff. This, at this point, when we do ChatGPT, is basically going through this basically 2 billion data sets, billions of data sets of words that can be consumed to be able to create answers for us. So, is that interesting in terms of difference between what exists and where we're headed?
Absolutely, it's incredible. Now, maybe you can, like in very short sentence, explain what is artificial intelligence,
But yeah, that's
or
let's
maybe ask ChatGPT to do it for us very
yeah.
quick.
Watch this, and now so let's go into another concept with ChatGPT. So I said this is a technology revolution for young people and old people. Now, all technology revolutions are for young people because old people, we suffer. I'm old people now. I have a nice phone. It's one of the latest Samsungs, but if they change the entire operating system on this thing for like 2 days, I'm like all thumbs. And if I was going to switch from this to an iPhone, I would be like for a week all thumbs. Learning new technology is not easy. So every time there's a technology revolution that takes place, the young people they grow up on it. My little guy, I mean, like the things that he's doing at like a 4.5 are just it's organically there. Everyone's growing into this now. For old people, we didn't grow into this, so we have to keep learning and knowing. And when something's new, it's hard. Why is this? How can I make a statement? This is a technology revolution for young and old people. Are you curious about why I say that?
Absolutely, bring it on.
Bring it on. So the way this system works, chatopenai.com, is based on this box down here. This box is a prompt. And let me just also move us out of the way. So I'll move us over there. Let me see. Try to get us more out of the way. I think over here is good. So this, okay, that's better. So this box down here where my mouse is the place where you type in. So you will type in what you want to know. But in order to get this to really excel, you match what you want to know with they call an AI prompt. An AI prompt is actually how we communicate with AI to help AI give us back what we want. So if we just say, okay, um, explain AI, right?
Yeah.
Simple. Explain AI. Watch this. So AI, artificial intelligence, is a simulation of human intelligence machines that are programmed to think and learn like humans. There are many different types of AI, but some of the most common include reactive machines. These are AI systems can only react to the current situation and don't have the ability to remember past. Limited memory. These systems remember the past experiences and use them to learn and inform the future. Theory of mind. The AI systems can understand and simulate the thoughts and self-aware. These AI systems have a sense of self and self-consciousness. Okay, this is very in depth. So then let's just basically say what explain Chat GPT AI. Okay, because we're really one about this. Okay, ChatGPT is a type of AI called a language model. It is trained to generate human like text by analyzing a large data set of text. It uses a deep learning technique called transformer architecture, which allows the model to understand the context and relationship between words in a sentence. The model is fine tuned for specific tasks such as language translations, questions, answering, text summarization. ChatGPT can generate a wide range of text from simple response to complex. One of the main uses of ChatGPT is building chatbots, which are AI-powered systems that can hold natural-sounding conversations with humans. So we're using ChatGPT in the chatbot. So when I asked this question, I had little or no control of what it was going to spit back to me, right? I asked an AI machine, what is AI? It gave us a whole bunch of stuff. Then I was like, all right, we got to fix that. What is Chat GPT AI? Right? We crafted our message, and then it gave us this. But this is still a shit ton of information, right? So
Absolutely.
I'm going to say, what is Chat GPT in 2 sentences or less? GPT is a large language model developed by OpenAI that uses machine learning to generate human-like text. It's trained on a data set of billions of words and can be fine-tuned for specific tasks, language translations, questions answering, and text summarization.
Maybe ask how to explain ChatGPT to a 5-year-old kid or something like that, to a ten
And
year
we were
old
going
kid.
to do that. That's a
Uh,
perfect thing because you're right in line with what we're covering right now. So what I'm doing is slowly, I am learning how to communicate with ChatGPT AI. Because first I said, what is AI? Oh my God, it's crazy, too much stuff. What is ChatGPT AI? Oh my God, it's still like a long page. And then I said, all right, give me it in 2 sentences, right? But still, we want to say, okay, explain ChatGPT to a 2 year old's not going to work. We need to, let's just say a sixth grader, right? So here I'm further narrowing my prompt. So we're still saying explain ChatGPT. We want to keep it consistent. AI, right? But now I am taking control because I'm directing the computer, the AI, what to do. So that's what it says. ChatGPT is a computer program that can understand and write sentences like a human. It can be used to talk to people through a computer and make it seem like it's a real person. Great job. Let me know if there's anything else. Yes. Uh, explain to that child the uh, the simple uses of Chat GPT. Right. So now we're gonna still in the context of a 6-year-old.
That's pretty funny.
Right, can be used to make a computer talk to you like a person, can help you with your homework, answer your questions, and even tell you jokes. It's also used to make chatbots, which are computer programs can talk to you online and help you with things like ordering food or buying clothes. ChatGPT is also used in some video games to make the characters talk more like real people. Overall, ChatGPT is a powerful tool that makes it easier for computers to understand and communicate with humans. That's pretty incredible. Now watch this. explain ChatGPT to a Python programmer who is hearing about it for the first time and give programming examples. See what happens. ChatGPT, a pre-trained transformer-based language model developed by AI. It's based on GPT, generative training transformer architects, fine-tuned for a varied language. In Python, you can use OpenAI library, which provides a simple API for interacting with the model. Here's an example of how to use ChatGPT to generate text. It's literally writing the code in Python.
It's amazing.
So it does write code. I don't want to spend so much time talking about how to write codes because I wish I grew up as a coder, but I didn't. But now I can because I can write code. But look at this explanation. So what is the difference? This is such a crucial point. This is why this is a technology revolution for the young and for the old. And I'm going to come to that and finish that open loop in a second. By the way, when I say I'm going to close that open loop in a second, do you know what that means? That's a copywriting term.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So look at what
Well,
this thing is doing. This is really,
you can
what's this?
stop by then, I think. Yeah.
Stop Jenning. Okay. So here's the idea. Okay. What I have done, going back up this thing here, is I've basically refined how I am communicating with the API, the AI, and I'm literally instructing it like a friend or a child. I wouldn't say a spouse because they don't listen to anything you say, but a friend or a child. Well, my child doesn't listen to anything I say either. Okay, maybe like a friend, a dog. It's like a dog. Maybe this is why I love this AI so much.
That's
I
funny.
found a new friend that listens to anything I say. And it never gets tired. It just keeps pumping this stuff out. Anyway, the what we're doing is we're learning how to get better at communicating to this. So we're not going to just get us so much fluff. We're going to actually get the output that we want. So this learning, what we're learning, is explain at GPT prompts. They call it a prompt. They're going to give me probably the right language for this, but it's called a prompt. A prompt is a piece of text that's used to input into to a language model like ChatGPT. The model that generates text-based prompt, which is called a response or the completion. The prompt can be a simple sentence, a question, a statement, a keyword, or a full-fledged story. The prompt is used to guide the model understanding the context. Prompts can be used for various tests, such as text generation, text completion, question answering, language translation, text summarization. Prompts can be created and fine-tuned to provide things that are useful for you. Okay, let's just let it finish out. So the idea that I is crucial to really understanding the power behind this and why this is such a revolutionary technology, which I feel like this is as exciting as the launch of the the internet, is because we are going to be able as the users to actually begin to learn how to really cultivate better prompts to be able to get more accurate, faster information out that's going to allow us to do everything faster and better. So the beginning of this talk was like how to use ChatGPT to make money. Well, you can make money by saving time, right? If it usually takes you 2 hours to do something and it takes you an hour, you make money. You can make money because the people you used to hire to do all this stuff, you don't have to hire anymore. Or you can make money by becoming such an expert at ChatGPT or the next thing that comes out that you do this as a service. So I've spent probably now, ooh, 40, I don't know, between 100, more than 100 hours on this. And I keep learning. And it's a learning process. But the key here is the prompts. So uh, give some examples. Oh, here, I'll do something that's funny. Rewrite this sentence. Give me a sentence, Joseph.
Any sentence?
Yeah, make up a sentence.
I'm very excited to be listening to this class with Mike.
Okay, now give me like a second part of this.
Second part of it. I would like to learn eventually how to apply this to my business and different areas of my life and how I can master this technology as an early adopter.
Master this technology. What? As what?
And I would like to learn eventually to apply how to apply this to my business and my life and figure out how to master this technology. So as an early adopter.
Okay. So
Adopt.
one of the great things that basically I've got 52 people working in my organization from all over the place, and basically we had training at the last global meeting, and I said it's mandatory everyone learns this because I don't want any emails going out to any leads, prospects, or clients or anybody, anyone, emails going out unless it goes through ChatGPT. Why? Because you don't have to have perfect English to drop it in here, right? So technology is not spelled right. I say rewrite this sentence, and the sentence really isn't a great written sentence, right? So, but if I say rewrite this sentence and I say hit enter, then I'm thrilled to be in this class with Mike. My goal is to learn how to implement this technology in my business and personal life and become a proficient user.
Wow.
That's a pretty damn good sentence. Like that sentence will get you far. But say, Joseph, you're like a humor guy, okay? Rewrite this sentence again with humor. You're a humor guy, right? You want some humor. Oh, it's thinking of something. I'm beyond excited to be sitting with Mike in this class with Mike. I'm pretty sure the class is going to be the highlight of my week, and I can't wait to figure out how to use this tech to make my life better. I might even become an early adopter, and that is a title I'm willing to wear with pride. Okay, okay. Now, wait a second. You are a voracious reader, and you want to write like rewrite this sentence as if you are a Pulitzer um, Prize winner. That's the award for like the best writer. All right. Now let's see what you got. Ah, digging deep now. As a Pulitzer Prize journaling winner, I'm honored to be in the presence of esteemed educator Mike as we delve into this intellectually stimulating class. My aspirations are to master the intricacies of this technology and apply its principles to both my professional endeavors and my personal affairs, solidifying my position as a trailblazer in its implementation.
Wow.
So,
That's great.
this goes back to being able to understand how to communicate with the AI to get what you want. This is the prompting. Now, I did say I was going to come back to this to close the open loop. And then I was like, okay, well, most people don't know what an open loop is in a sales copy. So before I close the open loop, which I'm doing it again, this is really quite funny that I'm able to open and keep this open loop open until I close the open loop. But now I'm going to talk about ChatGPT. Tell me, what is a open loop in sales copy writing? Give me an example of an open loop. Tell me uh, the brain science behind open loops and why they are effective. But you want to know this?
Absolutely.
This is good. So watch this. An open loop is a sales copywriting and it's a technique used to capture the reader's attention by introducing a question, problem, or a gap in information that needs to be filled. This creates an emotional tension that compels the reader to keep reading to find the answer or the solution. The idea behind open loops is that the brain is wired to seek closure and satisfaction, and open loops trigger the brain's desire to complete the information that is missing. For example, an open loop in a sales copy could be a question like, are you tired of losing money on your investments? Or a statement like, imagine being able to retire 10 years earlier than you planned. This creates a gap in the reader's mind that they will be more likely to keep reading to find out how to solve the problem or achieve the imagined outcome. The brain science behind open loops is related to the way our brain processes information. When we encounter a gap in a missing piece of information, our brain activates the seeking asylum, which is related to the release of neurotransmitter dopamine. Dopamine is associated with the motivation, pleasure, reward, and it creates an emotional tension that compels us to seek the missing information. Open loops are effective in copywriting because they create an emotional connection with the reader, making them reader more engaged and likely to take action. They also make the text more memorable, and the brain tends to remember information that's incomplete. The brain tends to remember that information that's incomplete. By using the open loops in your sales copy, you can increase the chance of capturing the reader's attention, making them more interested in your product or service, and ultimately leading to more conversations.
Oh,
It's huge. So the title of the presentation was a technology revolution for finally is a key word. That's a powerful word. Finally, a technology revolution for old and young people. So then I said, in a moment, I'll share why this is for old people. But this has now been going on. I don't know how many minutes. 33 minutes we're into it. So I keep opening opening the loop. Now it's very important that you close the loop because you don't want to leave an open loop. But through this process, anyone or all of the people that have been following or watching us are all in the same position saying, hey, open loop, whatever it might be. So why is this a technology revolution for old people? It is a technology revolution for old people because old people have wisdom. So you're going to say, well, how does wisdom have to do with anything we're talking about with this AI? How does wisdom have anything to do with it? I'm going to open that up.
how does wisdom have to do with it?
Like we just went through a pretty good example of what this does and how this does this. But where do you think wisdom comes in?
I think the way obviously you're gonna ask the chat, right? How the chat is gonna work for you, how you want the prompt to respond. That's one, and I don't know if I'm going the right direction there.
You go in the right
That's
direction. Well,
that's how it comes, right? I think the more precise you are with really what you want to get from the technology, the best result you're gonna get out of it. So
so you Yeah, you hit it right on the head. So I did a Agora Financial, great company. I did a little project for those guys back a few years ago. I learned a lot about them. They're a good part of Agora Inc. Some of the best copywriting people in the world. They have something called the Big Idea, which is a part of their philosophy. So I spent 2 hours going through doing some research on the Big Idea. And what I began to realize is that if you take two people, and this is why I really think this is a technology revolution for the old people. You take someone that's, and like, I don't want to age discriminate because anytime you discriminate now anything, if I just say, let's take an example of my left hand versus my right hand, I'm going to get yelled at because I'm discriminating against lefties or righties or wherever I pick first.
Right.
Fuck all that, right? Anyway, so let's just go age because there's an easy way to disseminate between the difference of wisdom, right? Because just naturally speaking, someone that's 22 that's coming out of college, like me, when I was coming out, I knew a lot about what they taught me there, but and a lot about drinking beer, but very little really about let's just call the big idea in copywriting. Didn't know about it. It's not taught in college. So if then I was like, okay, let's use ChatGPT to not even create something that could be used for the like some like say an ebook for someone to learn, but to be used as a tool for me. Or I'm comparing this to like say someone that was 50 that's done some copywriting, like what you would be able to use as these prompts, because we just saw how these prompts work, is night and day. And this is why the advantage initially is going to go to the old people with the wisdom, because like when you're thinking, you see things, you experience things, you've used different strategies and tactics and applications of things that have worked and didn't work. So when you're in the prompting mode, you are actually literally able to take this journey with the AI in a completely different place than someone with less wisdom. Let's call it that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and it would make sense, like maybe a more black and white example is you speak Portuguese. If I knew 5 sentences of Portuguese and I try to use Chat GPT in Portuguese, I could get it to, take me to, the beach, the 10 words I know. Take me to the beach. How do I get a cab? What's the conversion rate? I could do a lot of things with that,
Right.
but I couldn't do anything else. But because Portuguese is your language and you have experience with it, you could do everything. So this is why my mission is really now to become a leader in this space, because I believe in this. I've been using the AI writing stuff for a couple of years already, but it's going to be a leader for AI, for this AI and the Chat GPT stuff for old people, because I want to empower people that are just like, oh shit, nah, not another thing. You know, there is a diagram. There's another software that they have that does diagrams, but this diagram, I'm gonna share my screen again to show you where we are on the early adopter curve, and it's kind of interesting. Diagram of early adopter curve in technology. Like the only way I know about this is because I'm old, right? I mean that's the reality. If I'm 22, I probably don't know about this. Um, so let's just go to images, and where is one that's like easy to see and understand? This is fine. Um, I want to just look at this one here, so you can kind of see it, but it has it broken down. It's like a bell curve, a normal bell curve. But the early adopters, the innovators are like 2.5%. So these are like the people probably right now that are on ChatGPT. It's such a tiny, like if I'm on, Zoom calls with amazing smart people every day, and the vast majority of the people, unless they're in tech or in like copywriting or marketing, haven't heard of ChatGPT yet.
Yeah.
The early adopters have. Early adopters, that's all the way up over here now. We're still in like the innovators. So it's so early right now. And like we're so far away from like, my parents knowing about this. So the point is that we're extremely early. I think it's a huge opportunity for, basically for one, what you're doing with the kids. We're going to take this recording and put it in the platform for your programs, and I think that's awesome. One of the things that I'm very passionate about, as you know, is education. Client Engagement Academy, we build online education courses. But my entire thing, since we started 6 years ago, is simple. It's learn and do. Without the application of information, you're a little better off than you were with the information. It's the application, and that's what's great about your program, because you're teaching kids entrepreneurial stuff, but then you're having them do the projects, right, and get out there in the real world and get mentored. And so I think this presents such a big opportunity for you to figure out, because it's easy. You know, junior high school kids, they'll get this, but it really can empower them. They don't have that wisdom. They're never going to be able to compete head to head using AI against someone with wisdom. But there's so much stuff that they can do that 3 months ago they would have taken a long time, if ever, to do the things that they'll do. We don't even know what they're going to do.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see though how schools accept, ChatGPT because of like plagiarism and all that. I mean, eventually it's gonna be everywhere, right? I think they will have to accept it. It will be very interesting to see the curve.
Yeah, here's a comment from Josiah. How do you wrestle with the degradation of the learning of our society, thus putting us further and further behind in the world? Most want to have answers here and now and not actually learn themselves. Is a looming concern, letting a bot cheat for you.
That's what I just said. Yeah, similar.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's a great question. I think this type of question has been going on for a while. I mean, I faced it. Oh man, I don't know. I graduated in 1986. I faced a question because I went to a liberal arts school, and there were other schools that, like Babson College, that had a great entrepreneurial program and still does. They literally, you go there and you learn how to start a business and go do business. The theory behind, I went to Union College, a liberal arts school, is that you're not going to learn so much that you can apply unless you're like a pre-med or engineer, but you're going to learn how to think. And that was the power behind liberal arts, is you're going to learn how to solve and figure out shit for yourself. Okay, so I think that is going to really be the new challenge as educators, is that this is not cheating, because you're just talking about, okay, when we had the encyclopedia, we had to go to the library, and even the library books were in those stupid cards, and then they weren't even in the right places. You used to walk around a library for like an hour, and instead of getting 4 books you wanted, getting 2, and you get pissed off and you waste an hour of your life. Okay, then they put on a computer, so like, okay, instead of taking an hour, it took 30 minutes to get the 4 books. And then Amazon, got the 4 books, and then I could just download them, and then I had the 4 books. So it took, 10 minutes. Am I cheating? And now, instead of having go get the 4 books, I just got the information that's in the books in 5 minutes. And from many books, I'm not limited by my library. Is that cheating? I don't know if that's cheating. What we
Yeah,
need
I
to
mean, it's
focus
just how you
on,
use it, right?
we need to focus on teaching how to think, and how
Yeah,
to ask questions, and and how to solve problems.
No, no, and I also think that the world is changing so much, right? That a lot of jobs are going to be automated, and we're going to have to innovate ourselves and just be creative and know how we can add value, right? Because like you said, taking 10 hours to study something and come up with a computer and come up with an answer to it might not be necessary in today's society. In today's society, you go to to a bot, and the bot will give you the answer, right? So that's advanced, right? So if I'm a person that my profession is to be that, well, in today's world, this is not going to exist. So you need to innovate. You need to do something different because So I think that
Yeah, I mean these are definitely great questions. Um, the it's kind of like, okay, when you have to adopt, you can't fight.
yeah.
Like schools banning this, like whatever. It's too late to ban it. It's like, when people we used to farm, but with humans, only humans and animals. That was it, farming. And then we created farming equipment. And then what happened to those jobs? Like
Yeah.
if you fought it, the farm had a slow death and the people. But if you did it and you said, okay, I have to adopt, and whether you could utilize the people to do other things or not. I mean, that's one thing. The classic example is the music industry. I just remember it so clearly when the first music sharing thing came out, and all the music companies were the most arrogant.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, they were ripping us off for years. They abused the artists. They were just, despicable business people. Generally speaking, they were just, all lawyered up, and all of a sudden, music sharing came, and they just tried to sue everybody to death. And he was out of the bag. Like digital music was out. You can't get it back in. You know, so this is huge. This is why I think this is as big as the invention of the internet. In 20 years, 20 years ago, when the internet act came out, you had no idea. And I just saw something. It was like talking about that. The original internet sites. Like you got to see some of these. Watch. They're so funny. Original. Yeah, like yeah, like this over here is welcome to Apple. You see this? Well, welcome
I
to
don't
Apple.
see your screen. We don't see your
Oh,
screen.
sorry. Let me share my screen. Yeah, top right. Welcome to Apple. How's that look for a website? Okay. What about this? Um, I just lost it. Hold on. Uh, I just had. Yeah, that's Yahoo. Oh wait, what about this? That's Google. So the internet's come a long way. There was one from Microsoft that was just kind of crazy. Uh, so we don't know. So it's a good question, and it's a good conversation. I don't think at this point we actually even know where we're headed yet. But I think the challenge is going to be we got to teach people how to think. Got to step in and say, okay, just gonna have more access to more information. But like, how do you excel with that?
Yeah.
It's not cheat. Like, I mean, you can. Like, if you have
I
a
mean, you can.
test,
It depends how you use it, right? But it's obviously if you use it in good faith, right, to actually help you to become a better individual, more knowledgeable, get more wisdom, or do things faster, and figure out a way that you can add more value to society, that's amazing. If you're using it because you wanted to do your homework, or using it because you want to tell the world that you wrote this amazing essay, but it wasn't really you, then I think that's the beauty of technology. You can always use it for the good and for the bad. Is a choice, and I think that I see, like yourself, like crazy revolutions coming out of this, and but there's always going to be tests, and So let's see where it goes.
Yeah. By the way, there's already a site that you can drop in any copy, and it will tell you 99% chance it was written by AI.
Yeah, but I believe there's a chat that then you can reverse it and to make sure it's very human. So
Yes. So,
yeah,
all right. Well, I really appreciate the time, Yosef, and doing this
yes,
together. It was
thank you so
great.
much. Hmm.
Thank you, everyone, for joining and commenting. And going to be a minimum of a couple of times a week now, talking about the Chat GPT. We're going to be bringing in people with Yosef for next week. We're going to get into an application for his school, and we're going to build some stuff live. So if you're interested in coming on and being a guest and building stuff live on LinkedIn or wherever else we're streaming, then let me know. Send me a message on LinkedIn. Appreciate you, Yosef.
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for the class. Hope everybody had a lot of fun and learned a lot as I did. And see you next time.